there are 5 aspects of Avatar's ecosystem in dispute: the Hallelujah Mountains, the stone arches, the home tree, the tree of voices, and the tree of souls, and some Pandora wildlife, including banshees, thanators, wolf-like predators, 6-legged horse-like creatures, and wood sprites, small, bioluminescent jellyfish-like creatures.
I'd just like to start off by saying it's completely absurd that James Cameron has stolen my idea. I've been in this industry for over 45 years, working on this project for countless hours, and my favourite project is the Floating Islands. Article 17 of the Copyright Act states that I have protection over my artistic work, which is why James Cameron is not allowed to use that. But I'm not the one bringing this up. I've been told by fans, by other movie directors, by magazines and interviews, questioning me whether I gave my ideas to James Cameron. No, and that's why it's unfair. James Cameron has benefited by over $2.9 billion in box office. And I know my rights, and I want to protect them and fight for them.
Okay, can we start? Because I have to get over it with, oh, you guys had Roger here. Of course you guys had him. People have so much free time. It's just incredible. The point is, I am brilliant. And there is no discussion on this. Like, look at the work that I have done. I have done fucking Titanic. I've done fucking The Terminator. And I just am brilliant. And you think he is the first one who wants to claim this and wants to say blah, blah, blah. It was actually me who created. Some people just don't understand that I am this good. And Avatar is much more than floating mountains, which, by the way, I got it from the Hindus and from other inspirations. But it's about the colonization of America. People just don't look deep enough. Like, just look outside your window. Look at nature. Look at fauna. Look at China. You know, like, look at the Hindu deities. Just look around. You can't say that, okay, I saw a mountain in China and now it's Rogers or anyone else. Just open your eyes and see it from a different perspective and make something brilliant out of it. And I know my rights. I know that there are lots of cases, like the 1983, the Warner Bros. Cases, which stated that numerous differences, they overshadow the undercut similarities. So I don't know what he's talking about. Like, he just doesn't, there's people that just don't get it. It's much more than Avatar. It's much more than Pandora. It's a work of art. It's to teach the new generation about colonization. And I just like blue. Who doesn't like blue? Do you like blue?
Yeah.
I like blue too. Well, okay guys, gotta go. Peace out.
A legal specialist on the Avatar case, and I will try to explain how the court made the decision. So first, we need to establish that for a claim of copyright infringement to be prevailed, the plaintiff needs to prove 2 things. First, that the defendant had actually copied his work, and secondly, that the copying is illegal because there are enough similarities between both of them. And how can we know that the works are similar? So we need to make a test as an ordinary observer. For example, a standard person test. Works have unprotected and protected elements. So the court must attempt to extract the unprotected elements and only consider the protected elements inside the work. So the court also needs not to aggregate the plaintiff's work, but actually analyze each allegedly infringed work alone. So not as a whole, but each one of the 5 elements alone. This last statement is also supported by the idea that nothing in the Copyright Act or in past case law support the idea that a plaintiff's aggregated portion of art may be used as a comparison between both works.
I'm Jess Furman, the judge ruling this case, and I'm here to discuss the legal analysis between the defendant and the plaintiff. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the comparison between Avatar's Hallelujah Mountains and the plaintiff's floating islands. So, to begin with, we can see that both of these works are very similar, as they both depict a natural world which is very fantasy-like, where there are floating airborne land masses. So to begin with, we have to think that the plaintiff does not have a monopoly over floating or airborne land. This idea has been around since the 1700s, with Jonathan Swift publishing his Gulliver's Travels. And there is also another case called Kregos versus Associated Press, whereby it is stated that a copyright does not protect an idea, but only the expression of an idea. In this case, the defendant did not specifically copy an expression of the idea from the plaintiff, meaning that in Avatar, the expression of an idea of a floating mountains is completely different to that in the plaintiff's paintings. In addition, all of Avatar's ecosystem and society, including fauna, flora, and the characters, appear in nature. These elements, these natural elements that appear in the film, are free for the taking and are of public domain. This is also seen in the case of Siosis versus National Geographic Society. You need to take a look at the differences between the plaintiff's mourning dragon piece and the banshees seen in the Avatar film. So, the plaintiff contends that the antennae used in the banshee's sort of characteristics replicate that seen in the mourning dragon painting. However, this is not the case. In the mourning dragon painting, the dragons have tails. They do not have antennae. So antennae is a completely new characteristic that Avatar has implemented into their film. This is also apprehended by the fact that in the Warner Bros. Case of 1983, it is stated that differences overshadow similarities. So in conclusion, many of the alleged similarities between the plaintiff and the defendant's work are related to elements that are very unprotected, such as idea and nature.
Just say 1, 2, 3.
Go on.
Okay. So the court ruled that no lay observer would have recognized Avatar as having been appropriated from the copyrighted work. And as we finish this documentary series, me and my filming team, we have decided to input our opinion as well. And we have concluded that the case only mentions the Article 17 from the Copyright Act in the United States. And the rest is case law, which is very much a common thing in common law jurisdictions such as the US. And a copyright does not protect an idea, but only the expression of an idea, as mentioned in Kregos versus Associated Press. And this means that it is the design that is important under the Copyrights Act. And this could be argued to be for the film's design to have been similar to that of the artworks, but the movie scenarios were based on real-life landscapes. From the computer ASOX case in 2005, we got that elements that appear in nature are in the public domain and free for the taking. So this means that the flora and fauna are not protected under copyright laws. And from some research we did on the site, we have discovered various similarities, also mentioned by the director in different interviews, between the Pandora world and our world. So for instance, the Hallelujah Mountains are based off the floating mountains in China. Stone arches are based off the Rakut's Bridge from Germany, which also appears in the Lord of the Rings universe. Then we have the Nemeton, which is the Tree of Voices, was based on a Nemeton that comes from the sacred space from Celtic religion. And as the home tree, we have the Kenya trees seen in Kenya. And additionally, as mentioned as well before, once again, the Warner Bros. Case from 1983, numerous differences overshadow similarities. And once again, although there are similarities that can be seen by anyone between the artworks and the movie itself and its scenarios, the fact that the movie scenarios are based off of nature and are substantially different undercuts the similarities with artworks.